Greetings, 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 salute, salute. What it do, what it do, what it do, Oseo, Hotel, Shalom, Salam Alaikum, all that good stuff. You hear me? How everybody doing? You know, once again, we at it. It's spiritual war. The war is real, and the war is real. It's spiritual war, and the war is real. You hear me? But once again, greeting to the spiritual beings having this human experience with me, you know, and it might be something that come through as human beings, you know, unaware of the spiritual experience that's being had for the spiritual war out here, and I'm not separated from my divinity. Neither are you, but you're gonna have to know that for yourself. But I'm not separated from my divinity, nor is it outside of me, because there ain't nothing outside. You see, everything is in the mind. You hear me? Regardless of what's being experienced. But I say that and ask, are you willing to go to war for your peace if you have it? Because everybody don't have peace. You know? Are you able to recognize peace when you see it? But are you willing to go to war for your peace if you have it? You hear me? And in order to do that, we're going to have to embrace it all, you know, to the best of our ability. And I take pleasure in being able to do that. And it don't happen overnight. It do not happen overnight. You know, I will not sit here and portray that it do. It don't happen overnight. It take consistency, you know, and more consistency, you know, plus a lot of time, energy, and effort, you know. But I embrace it all in order to evolve to be better than I never been before, because that's the mission. Are you willing to do the same? Are you willing to embrace it all in order to be better than you never been before? Because we ain't got no room to be sweeping nothing under the rug. Because all that stuff that was swept under the rug, that's the shit that people still carrying. That's why toxicity is so popular. Because so much been swept under the rug. That's why you can go anywhere on the internet and see somebody attacking somebody, do what they may be going through. You hear me? Whether it's P. Diddy or Donald Trump, you know, just for analogy's sake. You heard? But change is the challenge of doing what we never done before. You hear me? That's the only way we're gonna be better than we never been, by doing something that we never done. Unless we moving in reverse. You see, to be worse than we been. You hear me? And that ain't what's going down over here. So I speak to a lot of things, family. And y'all who been around know that. I speak to a lot of things, regardless of how comfortable they may be. You know, because in a lot of cases, it be uncomfortable for me too, to be the one to have to deliver it. You hear me? But I deal with it. But that's just how the lineage be coming through me. You feel me? And more so, somebody be needing to hear it, regardless if it's admitted or not. But it's evident because we show up for it. You heard? But I said that to say this: keep showing up. You know, keep showing up, even if what you hear be uncomfortable, because ain't nothing nobody can say if you transforming in their face. You hear me? And transformation come through. Transformation don't happen through everything being good. Transformation don't happen through everything being beautiful. You know, transformation don't happen through everything being as we want it to be. But life is good. Life is beautiful. But that's the choice. That's the choice. The view it as such, regardless of what's going on. You know, and that take something in us to be able to do that. And if you got that something that it take for you to be able to do that, then you just comprehended everything I just said, you know. And I say that because who I had to be to get to the space that I'm in today, and to get to the space that I am in right now, is not who I have to be as I proceed. You hear me? And that's the evidence of becoming my higher self in my physical form while I'm still present on earth. As y'all have heard me say before, you know, when heaven become your quality of mind, you will see it everywhere regardless of what you're experiencing. And you will be able to share that quality of mind, you know, with other minds to help them, if not get a glimpse of the same thing, you know, have the view that they need to see the same thing, regardless of what they're experiencing. And I take pleasure in doing that. I really do, you know. I say that to say because I've been where some of y'all been at. I've been where some of y'all are right now. You hear me? And I also been where some of us have got ourselves out from around, you know. If you ain't listen, you're gonna miss it. I also been where some of us got ourselves out from around, you know, because what we had to get from around to get into better spaces within ourselves is only due to the fact that what we was around ain't no longer in us. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. But I've been where some of y'all been, and I've been where some of us got ourselves out of, because it ain't around us no more, due to the fact that it's no longer in us. But with all the hate, with all the backstabbing, with all the betrayal, with all the jealousy, with all the evil eye, with all the disrespect, with all the people trying to be you, with all the people posing as you, you know, when you're not around, with all the copycats, with all the energy vampires, you know, so forth and so on, you know, the secret competition that be going on. I've been through all that shit too. And guess what? It was all necessary for my ascension. So I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. And I hope y'all not. You hear me? Because that's only holding you back. You hear me? I say that to say we gotta go through some things. You know, I had to go through some things to prove myself worthy of the ancestral bloodline that I came through, you know, or the ancestral bloodline who chose me to come through them. You hear me? Because I ain't get here by myself. So we gonna be battle tested, you know. We gonna be battle tested, and if you ain't been battle tested, everything I say probably gonna trigger you. You hear me? But we gonna be battle tested to see who make it out still with a pure heart. You hear me? So I'm able to talk about a lot of things that I had to go through, and some of y'all been through, you know, to make it out with a pure heart. You hear me? To still have love in my heart. You know, while I'm at it, stillness, abundance, love, light, health, and wholeness. You hear me? You know, but life ain't gonna always appear to us like that. You know, regardless of what. And the difference between me and most is the fact that despite what I've been through, I really practice what I speak. And if you don't know me personally, you don't know that. But it's those that come through this space that know me personally and know that. But despite what I've been through, I really practice what I speak. And that's why I don't look like what I've been through. You hear me? And I may look younger than some of y'all that come through here that I'm older than. You hear me? But that's by divine design too. But You know, I really practice what I speak, and that's why I don't look like what I've been through, or those who've been through it with me. You heard? But we all get 24 hours. You know, we all have the opportunity to do this self work. You know, I am the frequency that I always been, but I had to grow into it. For those who listening, you know, I am the frequency among the fakeness that I always been. And it ain't never really been a time that I didn't speak to the fakeness that was appearing. You hear me? Even if it was appearing through me. See, cause I'm hard on myself. I rip myself apart to put me together. You hear me? But I say that to say I ain't gonna tell you to do this or you should do that, and I ain't doing it. That's not who I am. That's not who I ever been, and that's why it paid off. The self work pay off. The shadow work, it pay off. Self improvement pay off. And if you putting in the work, it don't take for me to tell you that. You hear me? But I don't take days off, even when I don't appear, you know, through the form of a video. I don't take days off, you know. And when it comes to self-work, as I apply it on myself, you know, I would like to be able to say that, I put more time and hard work in and on myself than people would like to think they put on their jobs, you know. And that's cool for that if that's what float people boat. You hear me? But ain't no job and more important than the person who going to perform on it. You heard? So I put more hard work in and on myself than most people put on their job. You know, and no matter how easy or how effortless it may look, you know, it just look like it. It really just looked like it, you know, and that's because in the way that I forged my own path, you know. When it comes to light and dark, when it comes to love and hate, when it comes to order and chaos, when it comes to hot and cold, when it comes to positive and negative, when it comes to war and peace. You know, what's the significance? What's the significance between all those words? What's the fine line between all those words? It's not complicated at all. Just a choice. That's all, a choice. And we all get an opportunity to choose. At any moment, at any time, through any experience, whatever we're experiencing, we all get an opportunity to choose what side we want to be on. You hear me? So the things that we experience, I said that to say this, the things that we experience don't have to be the things that dictate who we are. But they help us, as well as give us an opportunity to decide who we will be. But that's a choice. But that is a choice, you know. So be better than you never been, because that's a choice, you know. The sun is the brightest light between source and the earth until you can. If you don't listen, you're going to miss it. You know, the sun is the brightest source of light. I mean, the sun is the brightest light between source, God, Creator, whatever you know it as, the Almighty, and earth, until you can. Until you can. Now how you gonna raise the sun up in you? How you gonna raise that light up in you in order to keep from getting burnt by it? Because we're in a time where many people burnt by the sun. We're in a time where many people getting burnt by the sun. You hear me? But that's a choice. See? That's a choice. That is a choice. We all choosing who we choosing to be. We all choosing who we choosing to be. If you don't listen, you're going to miss it. I'm going to say it one more time. We all choosing who we choosing to be. And it would be wise if we know the choice that we have made. And if we paying attention about what we seeing, in most cases we could tell the choice that others have made. And for me, as y'all heard me say earlier, I embrace it all. When it comes to my evolving, when it comes to my expanding, when it comes to me spinning at a faster rotation, you hear me? I embrace it all, you know. You can learn from anything, anybody, you know, at any time. But it all depends on where we at with ourselves and what we seeing, you know. It's a lot of projection going on, you know. All those things that I spoke about earlier, you know, that I've been through, like some of y'all been through. It's going on, you know, because some people don't know no better. That's why forgiveness is important, you know. Not for those who do it to us, but for us, you know. Forgiveness is important for the ability to forgive is for you. I know that for me, but the ability to forgive is for you. So we're gonna see a lot of things that be happening, you know, that try to dictate how we gonna react or respond to it, or whether or not we react or respond at all. And if and it'd be wise to know where we at with ourselves. You know, our feelings is the indicator of how we vibrate. You know, that's why I make it my obligation to feel good for no reason at all. You hear me? And that's important. That's important. You know. As I said before, life is only good as we allow it to be. You know, it don't got nothing to do with what we have or none of those external things. Life is only good as we allow it to be. You know, and we don't want to find ourselves trying to match the energy of everything that's pouring into our lives in the way that it's pouring in our lives, especially if it ain't coming from a space that you would want yourself to be in. But like I said before, we're gonna be tested, we're gonna be challenged, you know, because that's what life do. Life afford us the opportunity to go through trials and tribulations, you know, so we know who we are. So once again, mental discipline gonna be important. Mental discipline is important for emotional discipline, and emotional discipline is important for our action's sake. You know, ain't getting nothing else. But remember who you are when nobody watching. Who you are when nobody watching. is the same person that you are when everybody watching. They might not know it, but you know it. You know? So what are you carrying? What are you carrying? You hear me? What are you carrying? Feel good for no reason at all. Stillness, abundance, love, light, health, and wholeness to the cosmic consciousness, family and soul tribe, the new family, and the peekaboos and passerbys. Thanks for the likes, shares, comments, questions, donations, purchases, and all that other good stuff. You hear me? To do something you never done. You gotta do something you never did. You hear me? And if you ain't got that foolery in you, keep it from around you. If you ain't got that foolery in you, keep it from around you. And keep moving forward. You won't have nothing to worry about. You hear me? You don't have nothing to worry about. If you got light, keep it lit. If you got light, keep it lit. And remember, that's a choice. You hear me? With that, stay positive as you can. Stay consistent. Stay persistent. And stay committed to your journey. You hear me? To your life. Because we only get one while we here. You heard? Command change over your life. Command change over your situations. You know? And it's going to take more than just commanding change. You know? In some cases, we're going to have to do something behind the command for that change to happen. You heard? But keep mind bending. You know? Keep mind bending. I appreciate y'all. You hear me? I love y'all. And, you know, and we much stronger together than we is separated. You heard? Until we do it again. I'm known as Sawu. Be you how you be you. Peace, family.